we discussed in the last segment, first thing someone needs to do when they're behind, call the lender, explain to them what is going on, be absolutely 100% honest, don't hide from them. And you started talking in the last segment about, okay, at some point in time we have to make an application to ask the lender to do something. And that is to let you stay in the house by doing some type of financial arrangements that make it where it would work. What are those options? You mentioned forbearance earlier where they add it to the back of the loan. What other options might there be?
Well, the bank looks at this in two different buckets. You have retention options, right? If you want bank assistance when you fall behind on your payment responsibilities, they offer retention options. And that can be in the form of a loan modification where you truly modify the terms of the note, which are not typically attractive in an environment like this. A lot of these people are sitting on 2-3% mortgages.
Right.
A modification will roll it into today's rates. And oftentimes will also add years to the term of the note.
Oh, yeah.
Better than foreclosure, but not outstanding. And a partial claim mortgage is what it's called when they take the arrearage. As long as you're able to resume your normal payments in about 60 days, they'll take the arrearage and tack it on to the back end of the loan. There are variations of those things in the retention bucket, and then there's non-retention if you actually want the bank's assistance, but you were going to move on from the property. You can sell it traditionally in a pre-foreclosure sale, and you can sell it short as a short sale with third-party approval, third party being the bank.
Right.
And the very rare deed in lieu, where in lieu of foreclosure, you just turn the property over to the bank. So the bank will offer assistance in multiple ways. And so that kind of breaks it down. There are a lot of people that we work with that haven't made a mortgage payment in 2 or 3 years, which I'm not recommending.
No.
You can sell your house and walk away with a bag, which has never been seen in the history of real estate. And it's because of this unreasonable, frankly, appreciation that has taken place over this 4 or 5 year period where there's still plenty of equity in the asset, even though you haven't made your mortgage payment in 2 or 3 years. Well, it's crazy.
And my thought, and this is exactly where I was gonna ask lead us in asking questions, but my guess is that someone should make a decision whether or not they want to fight and stay in their house and keep their equity, or whether or not they have no equity. But you would have had to have bought your house in the last year or two, year and a half, to not have any equity at all. What percentage of the people come to you having enough equity that it is the only right thing to do is to figure out how to stay in that house as long as they need it so they can sell it and get their equity out, or at a minimum just sell the dang thing themselves?
90%.
90% have enough equity to make it worthwhile to fight and stay in that home. I have said, and Michael, you have to tell me if you think this is right or wrong, that taking somebody's house away from them in 2024 is an entirely different world than taking it away from them in 2011. Because in 2011, they owed more on it than it was worth. They were upside down, didn't make any difference. You get somebody who's got $150,000 in equity in a home, they're going to put up their dukes if you try to take their home away from them.
The hardest thing to come to grips to when you're in this situation, in my experience, is accepting the fact that you are going to leave this home. That is a very challenging process for a family or an individual to go through. It's daunting to get to that place. And there's a lot of denial that sets in, and this unreasonable belief that things are just going to work out. And it's painful to witness, because every day, just because you're not paying your mortgage, every day you're living in there, it's costing you, anywhere from $30 to $80 a day off your payoff, plus fees, attorney fees, and all that stuff. So the longer you wait to remedy the situation in some fashion, the less money you could walk away with anyway. The truth of the matter is there's no shame in this.
Yeah.
And the reality of this situation is that struggle is a chapter in life.
Yep.
It's not the whole story.
No.
Unless our actions or inactions make it the whole story.
That's exactly right. We get to choose what's the final chapter. How much do you charge for it in the states where you actually help people with this process?
Yeah, I don't. We don't charge.
Wait a minute. Yeah. There's no charge at all for your service.
Never.
And there's no way for you to make money from the lender if you're now.
No.
If you sold someone's home short, then there could be a possible compensation for you. But so there's nothing. Well, here's what I'm going to do. If anybody is facing a foreclosure situation, Michael's already agreed to work with me and work with you, and we can help you here on the ground, and we will match Michael's charge at 0. And who knows, maybe Michael can put little check marks on, hey, I've saved this many people, even if a few of them are in the state of Georgia.